This story will surprise you today. Jessica Radcliffe is a young woman whose life revolved around the ocean and sea creatures. Since childhood, he has been at one with the waves, the salty smell, and the deep blue water, and caring for the dolphins and performing their activities for the audience. One day, an incident happened on that dream stage that made thousands of people cry. In the video, an orca whale suddenly pulls him underwater while he is playing. The scene seems so real that the video went viral in an instant. A wave of grief spread across social media. Many believe that he had indeed lost his life in a horrific accident. But is the truth really that simple, or is there a surprising twist behind it that could change the entire story? In today's video, we will know the truth and witness that tragic incident. So, we request you to watch the video in full. And, new friends, be sure to press the subscribe button next to it and select bell icons all options. Since childhood, Jessica's world has revolved around the sea and sea creatures. Because her father was a biologist who often brought various marine animals home or to the lab for research, Jessica's mind began to feel drawn to these animals. His love for large and beautiful marine animals in particular seems to have become a kind of addiction. That attraction deepens as he grows older. She would go on ocean cruises with her father where scientists studied whales and dolphins. Spending time with them every day gave Jessica a strange understanding, as if she could feel the animals with her heart. It was as if he had magic in his hands. Whenever he touched a dolphin, they seemed to be attracted to Jessica. Everything seemed like a dream to him. Gradually, his confidence grew. Finally, he participated for the first time in a 100 at Ocean Haven Marine Park where he saw other sea creatures being shown similar tricks. It was then that he decided that he too would become such a trainer one day. At just 19 years old, he completed a degree in marine biology and began working as a trainer at Ocean Haven. His first career began with training an orca, a large, powerful creature. His name was Mello, and everything was fine at first. A relationship developed between Mello and Jessica. It seemed like they understood each other perfectly. At Jessica's command, Mello Nust would dive into the water and perform amazing performances in front of thousands of spectators. The audience went crazy. The applause was overwhelming. Jessica's 100 was different from all the other 100s, but slowly, something started to change. A strange change occurred in Mello's behavior. Sometimes she would suddenly get angry, sometimes she would not eat for no reason. Jessica even started ignoring orders to hunt in disguise. Despite noticing this change, he ignored it until one day when Miller's anger grew so great that he spent an entire night banging his head against the tank wall. The authorities became concerned when they saw this. Finally, it was decided that only one more 100 would be performed with Melloak, and in that 100, only Jessica would perform with her. On the day of the show, the stadium was packed with spectators, with excitement on everyone's faces, because today's special performance was going to make history. Everyone, including Jessica's parents, had high hopes that it would make history. He was present on stage that day to witness his daughter's new success, who started hundreds with Jessica. Mello, and there was a roar of applause from all around. Mel, who had been acting strangely for a few days, was also surprisingly calm that day. Every instruction was followed perfectly. He was jumping out of the water, diving in, and completing each maneuver perfectly. Everything was going exactly as planned. And he admitted that his confidence was at its peak. But no one knew that this would be the last performance of his life. The last performance of the show was that special moment that everyone had been waiting for. Jessica was riding around the stadium on Mello's back, and the audience's applause was getting louder. That's when the unthinkable moment happened. Mello suddenly lost control and quickly dove under the water. And when he came back, he caught Jessica in his jaws. At first, the audience thought it might be part of the show. But in an instant, the screams of recognition spread throughout the stadium, and everyone seemed speechless. Jessica's parents were also watching everything with their own eyes. It was like a nightmare for them. Then the audience started running in fear, and the people from Arrangement jumped into the water. But by then, it was too late. What had been a blockbuster performance moments before had suddenly turned into a heartbreaking tragedy. The ocean world that Jessica loved so much was now about to take her life. On the other hand, the trainers were trying their best. They threw various objects into the water, ropes, and even fish to distract Malo, as if he would let go of Jessica. But nothing worked. By the time two trainers got into the water to try to save her, it was too late. Malo grabbed Jessica tightly by the jaws and pulled her into the deeper water. What happened before his eyes was a terrifying sight. The force is so terrifying that it causes severe injuries to Jessica's chest and lungs in a single blow. Within seconds, the water turns red. Later, with the help of a hydraulic machine, Malo was somehow restrained and lifted out of the tank. But by then, it was too late to rescue Jessica. Meanwhile, his life was taken by a colleague whom he considered his closest friend. But this was not the first such tragic incident. There had been a shocking accident before. The death of Daniel Patrick Dukes. Daniel was a man of a lively nature, but he was addicted to drugs and used to get into trouble for various reasons. That night, he made a mistake that ended his life. He sneaked in without a ticket. He was sitting in his seat at SeaWorld to enjoy the 100 like any other audience member. But due to intoxication, he fell asleep during the 100. When the 100 ended, everyone left, but he stayed inside. When security guards tried to throw him out, he claimed that he knew the owner of the show. He finally convinced the security guards and was allowed to stay inside. Then he went on a sort of expedition and went straight to the orca whale tank. Suddenly, he took off his clothes and jumped into the water, probably not realizing how big a mistake he was about to make. Late at night, Orca was awakened by unusual movements in the water. At first, he stared at Daniel for a while, but when Daniel continued to float without coming out of the water, the situation changed even more. Suddenly, the orca attacked him fiercely, breaking all his ribs with the first blow. Deep wounds formed all over his body, and the water in the tank turned red. The next morning, when the trainers approached the tank, the scene they saw was terrifying and frightening. The surroundings were silent, and Daniel's frozen body floating inside the water was still red, adding to the beauty of the marine world. No matter how much she fascinates us, Jessica hides an unseen world of mystery and danger. And these incidents of Daniel teach us how important it is to maintain balance with nature. Accidents could have been prevented, but human greed, thirst for fame, and blind pursuit of entertainment may be the root causes. These huge creatures sometimes try to express their inner pain, which we may not understand or ignore. Do you think these animals' behavior is just an aggressive instinct? Or is their natural peace disrupted by human intervention? Be sure to write your opinion in our comment box, because we want to know. And if you like this video, you can give it a like. If you subscribe to the channel, we'll see you in the next new episode. Thank you.